Good afternoon and greeting parents. Cheryl Phoenix here from the Black Child Agenda, tackling the schools to prison pipeline. And we've been quiet for quite some time. Our previous account was basically deleted because, you know, the typical keep on reporting it, and I don't know what we post that's so controversial, but all we do is tell you about the facts to do with your child in the education system and for those parents that need or want support. Now, yes, we do specialize in the black child, yes, in the African child, because when you actually look out there, there's no voice for them. They're left to then get involved in crime or whatever, and then you people say we're playing the race card, blah 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 blah. Anyway, we've been inundated with a lot of requests, a lot of calls, and we've been very busy with a lot of hearings. And one of the key areas that keep coming up is children with special educational needs not being supported in school, not actually being diagnosed, not getting the help that they need when there is a great deal of help out there. So this video is just for you parents or carers who may need to find out a way of how you identified if you feel that your child may need help, when you can ask for your child to be supported. So I've got my laptop here with some more information just so I don't go off track, because I know what I'm like when I get emotional and I get passionate about what we do. So one of the questions that parents do ask is, when should I ask for my child to be supported? Now, a lot of the things are, people think that you need to have an educational healthcare plan, which will be abbreviated as an EHCP, for you to be able to get support for your child. As parents, we know that our child may behave differently to everybody else, or you'll maybe getting a lot of reports from schools saying that they won't sit still, they won't do this, they won't do that, they're not listening, blah blah blah. You can actually request for a meeting, maybe with the SEND department or with the head teacher or with their head of year, to discuss what concerns the school is having, maybe even concerns that you're having, so that you can put a plan in place. They do not need to be diagnosed with any type of learning need or behavioral need for you to get additional help whilst they are in school. Okay, you do not need to wait for that. So let me just have a read as well. If you suspect your child has a learning difference or difficulty, or you're just worried about them, seek advice and support. Your child's class teacher, like I said, SENCO, GP or health visitor are good starting points. Depending on the type of need and your circumstances, help may be available before your child even starts school. Now, some of the things parents do ask us, and you know, we get a lot of inboxes and we get a lot of questions, so I'll give you a rough idea. And you know, this is not limited to and only, because we know sometimes our children go through phases, they behave in a different way, and then they grow it out, you know. So, you know, don't take it as literal, but if you find it is continuous for more than 6 months or a year, then strategies have been put in place but they're not working, then maybe it may be time for you to get an assessment or to have, you know, some sort of intervention for your child. Okay, this is not labeling your child. You know, sometimes children do act differently because there may be a bereavement. Mum is very ill, dad may have left the home, someone may have died in their family. You know, there's a lot of reasons why children behave. It doesn't mean that they have an additional learning need or a behavior issue. Do you understand what I'm saying? So some of the things that it says to look out for, and you can go to our website, allthews.theblackchildagenda.org. I'm going to put the link up here. So some of the things to look out for are: is your child easily distracted, engages in disruptive or aggressive behavior, gets angry with themselves often over seemingly trivial issues, may be a perfectionist and or have demonstrably low self-esteem, does not enjoy school. Now, there could be many reasons for that. Does not enjoy school, becomes stressed when starting tasks or when asked to work on their own, is reluctant to do homework, especially unaided, makes little or no progress at school, some children may even regress, avoids reading or takes no pleasure from it, or can read but very slowly, has good eyesight but is monosyllabic when reading aloud or may refuse to read out aloud, may struggle to scan text, declares a hatred for maths but in fact just can't fathom it, is disorganized, late settling to work, last to finish packing up and leaving the classroom, forgets to do homework or revise for test. This is one of the ones that are very, very, very common with some of the things that we get in our inbox for parents that just don't understand why. They feel that their child is just being naughty. They're never organized. They're never doing their homework, and then they get in detentions in school. Some of these things could be down to they have additional needs that have not been identified. The thing is that children display their needs in ways that doesn't say I need help, but it does say I need help, and it's down to the parents, to the adults who are around them to identify those needs, especially those adults who were paid and trained to identify those needs, to be able to then contact you as a parent or as a carer and say, look, these things are quite persistent. We think that we're going to try and implement ABC 1, 2, 3 to support your child. So that is what's supposed to happen, but I know for definite that it doesn't happen all the time. So let me continue. Forgets what task is, has trouble remembering more than 2 or 3 instructions at a time. I get that quite common. Has spider handwriting, presentation of work is messy and paintings indecipherable. Is articulate but can't or won't put pen to paper. Has an awkward pencil grip, may have difficulty remembering where to start writing and or struggling to copy accurately from the board. I can see a lot of you as parents right now going like this. Bumps into things, is clumsy and has poor spatial awareness, may have difficulty hopping, jumping or catching a ball and will literally trip over their own feet. Hears but frequently mishears what is said. May be able to repeat sentences verbatim but not comprehend the meaning or grasp the nuance. May find making a sustaining friendships problematic, even avoiding social contact altogether. Another one that when I read files literally screams off of the page at me like, this child needs an assessment. This child needs more support. Why is nobody listening? Let me see, may be shy and withdrawn and or avoid eye contact altogether. Not only is this an additional needs thing, but this is also cultural. You'll find many cultures, children are not allowed to look an adult directly in their eyes because it is deemed as being disrespectful. And a lot of schools and teachers say, well, the child's being rude, just like kissing of teeth. They say that, oh, the child has told me to F off. And it's like, well, no, they didn't. They just kissed their teeth. That's something out of frustration. But that's another conversation for another day about cultural appropriation and things like that. And then you have the last one, has difficulty with change. Can find even pleasant surprises upsetting. Now, I know there's a lot of you who identify with the list that I've just read out, and it is not exhaustive by any measures. And just because there may be some things on those lists, like I said already, that you may be able to identify with your child, does not mean that they have an additional need. It just means that they may just need some extra support for a short time period. Many children would experience some of the symptoms listed to a lesser or greater extent. But if you can count off more than 3 or 4, and have concerns, it may be time to consider enlisting extra support. These are all characteristics of normal childhood too, which is why many SENs are difficult to pinpoint. Importantly, don't wait for teachers to flag up difficulties. Parents with their holistic knowledge of their child are often the first to spot difficulties unless a school tests every child. Some children will be missed. Now, I say this because yesterday, even though it was Sunday, our inbox is filled with children that have additional needs. They're not getting the support they need. But if you want more information, please go to our website, allthews.theblackchildagenda.org, where you can see a long list and a lot of information, as well as links to government websites about how you can access that support, what support should or could be put in place, and how you go about doing it. Because what I'm seeing is a lot of bullying going on, a lot of children being labelled and targeted and put in isolation, which is going to be another video around isolation and how it's being used in a lot of these schools, which is not helping your child. It's not good for your child. And to be quite frankly with you, as far as I'm concerned, I believe isolation should be scrapped completely because it's inhumane, and these are children, not hardened criminals. Thank you very much. Peace, and I'm out. It's Cheryl Phoenix for the Black Child Agenda. Please see our link in our bio and go to our website, which is just here. All right, take care, give care.